Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 10 of Gallery Models VH34D Marine 1. Scale is 1 to 48. Now part 10 is the final review video, but before I show you that, my thoughts about the kit, as always. This kit is actually a very good kit. It goes together really well. I had a couple of issues with it, but I'm pretty damn sure that was of my own making and not the kit's fault. And I'm saying that because the quality of the kit is really good. And the main issue I had was with the engine. Now, I built the engine. I didn't really have to because I was having it closed up anyway. But I placed it in because I was worried about weight to see whether it would sit properly. So I wanted to put the engine in there. And as well, I thought it was good to show the engine being built. Now, the issue I had is when I put the nose cone on, I couldn't get it quite lined up properly. This was mainly due to the exhaust system and the positioning of it. Now, I thought I had it in the proper location, but maybe I didn't. I'm not too sure. But as I said, I think it was probably my fault. It didn't fit properly, and it was easy enough rectified anyway. I simply took off the exhaust system, cut it, and put it in half. Now, also, I would recommend this if you were shown the engine, but then you wouldn't have to do it anyway. But because it was going to be a closed unit, and simply putting in the end part of the exhaust negated any little problems. I did have to fill the nose cone in the end, but that was because I'd already placed a little bit of cement on it and tried to fit it. So that was a mistake on my part. I should have dry fitted it a little bit more before jumping in. There is a lot of detail in the kit. The cockpit, for instance, there's enough there to keep everyone happy, and the interior, depending on what version you do, you have options for a full interior for both versions. I particularly like the seats. The rescue version, they have the folding seats, and the presidential version, they have the thick leather seats that you would expect in an aircraft of this type that's going to be flying around any sort of dignitary. Anyway, I would say there was probably too much detail in the passenger area because the seats were crammed in such a way, realistically, you wouldn't get a person walking in between the seats. They would have to clamber over them. But that's just a slight niggle on my part. At least everything was there. Now, the photo etch for the seat belts and that was good. Now, I don't like photo etch. I've never made a secret of that. I prefer plastic or scratch building. I just don't like using it. But I will use it if it's in the kit. Nowadays, I won't go out and buy a set. Again, this is just my personal preference. The photo etch on the tail section on the radiator valves, that was very difficult to fit. It had to be curved in two ways to fit the contour of the tail, and it was a little bit tricky to do. I don't know whether I got it done properly or not. It looks okay, but I feel I could have done better on that part. The front part of the photo etch, the main radiator covers right on the nose cone, those sat too proudly on the nose cone for my liking. Now, yeah, true, I did have to sand it down because I failed the nose cone a little bit because of my mistakes. But even though I think it was too prominent a step from the nose cone to the grid, I would have liked to have seen that embedded more. Like the rest of the photo etch parts, all had their own little area to be put into, and it was embedded into the fuselage. The front part didn't seem to have that. The area was marked off with a clear definition line, but it still wasn't enough to keep it level with the actual nose cone itself. So to me, that was just a couple of small little issues with the kit, but nothing to stop from enjoying the actual build of the kit. Because as I said, the kit is very well made and very well thought out as well. And thinking about it, yeah, the little parts were a bit annoying, but you can't have everything. On the whole, it was a really good kit to build. Now the kit has so much detail in it, and there's so many extra parts in the kit. I'm sure, even though the instructions don't tell you this, or even the box art, I'm sure there's enough parts in this kit to do a full military version of this aircraft. The kit does include weapons, for instance, which I wasn't putting on the Marine one, or of course you would be putting on the rescue one, I would imagine. And just for that fact alone, I think the kit is really worth investing in and seeing if you can get one, if you feel it is something that you would like to build. So I would highly recommend this kit. The instructions could have been a little bit clearer though. I struggled in some areas. I really had to study it and refer back to some external photos and things like that, just to make sure I was getting everything in line, and I was putting on the proper detailing. But an advanced modeler, or even a mid to advanced modeler, is going to be able to cope without any problem. By no means this kit shouldn't be really done by a beginner, especially if you've never done an aircraft of this type before. This wouldn't be the kit for you because it's too detailed, and it would give you a lot of challenges you may not necessarily enjoy. So if you are a beginner, I would go for another kit other than this one, because it is so much detail, and you need one or two bits of skill just to complete it. And on a side note as well, I should point out I've changed the slight intro to the video. I'm placing on some of the previous builds on as a backdrop, just to give it a little bit of interest, so you're not just looking at a blank screen. If you don't like it, let me know, and I'll go back to this the original way that I do them, just having the box art on the screen, and that's it. Or if you can think of a way to improve it, please let me know. So coming up is the final review, and all that's really is left to say is, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why don't you do so? And please do so. But if you do, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be and kept up to date with any builds I do in the future. Also, hit the like button, and feel free to leave a comment. You can share the video as well. That's quite helpful. That all helps all the algorithm type thing, if you're into that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed the final review, and thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you on my next build. Bye for now.